Hello crafty friends, this is card number 47 in my full deck challenge. I'm going to start by adding a layer of tissue paper on the face of the card. The tissue paper I'm using is from an old dress pattern and I'm adhering it with Mod Podge. When I place the tissue paper down, I don't flatten it out with my hand. I use my fingers to move it around a little bit to create some ridges. This is to create a bit of texture. I then add a layer of Mod Podge over the tissue paper and I dry it well. You could also use gel medium, a glue stick or craft glue to add the tissue paper to the card. Once everything is dry, you can trim the edges. You can either use a scissors like I am, or you can tear off the excess just for more of a rustic feel. I always check my corners as I find they do tend to lift, just add more glue. And now we're going to have a little bit of fun. It's a bit of an unplanned type of art, but it's going to have a lovely effect in the end, and it really is just fun. I'm going to use this watercolor set. It is from Stationery Pal. I will put the links in the description below along with a discount code. Working on a piece of watercolor paper, I spray the water first onto the paper, and then I'm using autumn colors, just a few dabs, and I'm letting it run just randomly over the watercolor paper. I'm also doing some splatter. I'm letting some of the colors bleed one into the other, really just a free form of painting. I'm not having any plan at the moment, just enjoying the colors moving around on the paper and creating beautiful patterns. Of course, you can use any colors. I'm going for an autumn theme, not because it's autumn in any part of the world at the moment. I just have the focal point that I'm going to use as an autumn theme, and I was really inspired by it, so I thought I'd go with it. I don't really tend to work with the seasons, or I just find a focal point or a color or something that I enjoy that inspires me to create my next project. I will speed up this next section a little faster so it doesn't take forever for you to see the color creating, but I did want to leave it in the video because it really is, I think, quite beautiful to watch and really interesting to see what develops as you drop the colors on the paper. I did leave these puddles to run as I was drawing. I'd lift the paper and move it in all directions, and you can see some color run that has happened there, which I think looks really interesting and adds to the fun of the paper. I then have turned my paper over and I'm doing some really quick pencil sketches of some autumn leaves that I'm going to cut out. You don't have to turn the paper over. You could do your drawing on the color side. I've chosen to do it on the underside because I wasn't quite sure of my sketching and if I was going to redraw a same line over multiple times, and then it would actually ruin the color side. So I thought I'll just work on the back so I have space for errors and for extra marks, because I think my secret is that I'm not really that great at sketching. Perhaps something that I need to practice and get good at. Once you're happy with your sketches, just fussy cut them out. When I was done cutting with mine, I realized that all the colors were in the green and the yellow section, and I wanted something a bit more red and orange. So I took another piece of my watercolor paper, a section of color that I liked, and then I drew an additional leaf. It's not too late to join in my full deck challenge. You can work at your own pace, and you can either copy my cards from my tutorials, which allow you to think outside of the box and work outside your comfort zone and try new techniques, or you can just use them to be inspired to create your very own cards. You can also join my group. If you're on Facebook, just search Full Deck Challenge Group. And then to define them and make them look a bit more comical or more like a doodle, I've taken a black fine liner pen and I'm just doing the outline and then some veins or some designs in each leaf. I think this really adds to it and makes it look really fun. I would really love if you subscribed to my channel. I do process videos, tutorials, junk journal flip-throughs, and art journaling. Just click on the subscribe and then hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. If you're enjoying this video, please do hit the like, and then you can also comment. Before I add them to my playing card, I'm going to use some distress ink in the color Vintage Photo just to distress the edge of my card. This is just to give it a bit of dimension. I then start placing my leaves just to see how they're going to fit onto my playing card. I feel that the actual card itself is a little flat in the background, so to add a little bit of interest, I'm going to do some white splatter. I'm just using a white acrylic paint that I've watered down. I'm just doing very, very few splatters just to lift the background a bit. And then for my focal point, I'm going to be using one of these super cute creatures from this printable, which is from Digital Collage Club. I'll put a link to their website in the description box below. It was difficult to pick one for this project, but I decided on the little cute bunny with the crown with the rich brown background. The circle was a bit big for the size card that I wanted it for, so I just used my 2-inch round punch and punched it smaller. Once I placed it on the leaves, I felt it was getting a little lost, so I needed to lighten the back part of it so it could stand out as it was the focal point. So I used some white cheesecloth, which will help bring it to the foreground. Once I'm happy with the placement of all the elements, I'm going to glue everything down using my hot glue gun. You could also use your craft glue. I just like using a hot glue gun because it's quick drying and it sticks really well. Don't forget to check for the discount codes for Digital Collage Club in the description box below. Before I place the little rabbit down, I'm going to use the same black fine liner and go around the circle to edge it, sort of so it's matching the leaves, and also it sort of makes it pop a little bit more and makes it stand out as it's now framed. I'm now going to use the black fine liner again just to go around the edge of the card all the way around, very roughly, no straight lines, just very organic. And I'm doing this to sort of bring all the elements together, and I think it connects everything and gives it a good balance. Here is a close-up of the card so you can see all the details. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you were inspired to create your own card. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I will see you again soon. Bye.